Hello, gorgeous ones. How are you all? I'm back in here. I'm going to be doing a pyramid reading. I hope you guys are feeling magical and etheric and alive. I hope you're feeling like you really do create your own reality, okay? And you really are hacking into, at every moment, potentially, the blueprint you laid out for yourself. So I'm going to look into a storyline that Spirit wants someone out there or a group of you to be aware of. You know, the good thing about universal law and the wonderful thing about alchemy and archetypes is that we do follow similar blueprints, humans, which is why I feel like one message can resonate with so many. Spirit wanted me to get my poker cards out, so I'm curious as to where this is going to go, but we're going to see. We're going to look into the reality someone's creating, and we'll see what Spirit wants us to know. I never know what's going to come out. This is like a tarot lottery. So thank you, Archangel Michael. Thank you, guides, for blessing my reading and for stepping in. Okay. Funnily enough, I'm seeing like a red handkerchief and someone's setting fire to it. It's like a red flag someone's setting fire to, right? For someone. Okay. Can you see that? No, you can't. I'm going to put it up here. Okay, we've got the Empress, okay, as one of the foundational blocks on this pyramid. So this is someone with their house in order. This is someone with a beautiful heart as well, they're telling me. Okay, there's someone here with this Empress energy who's got a really beautiful, unique essence that they've brought in from Venus, I'm getting. Okay, so I could be speaking to or about somebody who is bringing a very rare, beautiful essence into the realm every time, you know, they deal with people. This is your unique consciousness, right? And it's very unique. And they're saying, you know, your inner world is very Venusian. So you think sweet thoughts and you understand things in a very sweet way, right? Very powerful stuff. We've got the Five of Pentacles. So no wonder with this Empress energy, it's not easy, you know, to bring all of that divine ancient energy into the realm and expect people in the modern era to understand it, right? So with this Five of Pentacles, what I'm getting here is that, you know, you've had this beautiful energy your whole life and you know how sweet you are. You know, we're comparative creatures. We have to compare ourselves to all other things, right? So you know how sweet and understanding you are. And I feel like your love goes really, really deep in a very soft, sweet and gentle way, right? They're showing me like silk, but they're also showing me like cotton wool. I don't know what you call that in America. You know, the soft stuff you would wipe your face with. But there's something really beautifully etheric and cherubim about your energy. And it may have felt like, you know, it's a tough old world out there, right? When you're really sweethearted and you expect everyone to be like you and you bring forward such a gorgeous ancient energy. And then bang, you're in the 3D, right? And there are kind people around, don't get me wrong, but society is geared, maybe not so much nowadays, because, you know, we're emerging, the light workers, whatever you want to call people who work on Team Godhead, who've got their heart chakra activated. You know, we're all doing our unique work in our own unique way and trying to blossom as best we can. So the world is shifting. But I feel like I'm speaking to someone who's had, you know, I'm hearing rebuffal, like you've had to rebuff people who really didn't alchemize well with your beautiful, they're giving me palette, like you've got an artistic palette of these beautiful alchemical energies, and maybe it's always felt like not so easy to find your home or your niche or to get in where you fit in, right? Five of Pentacles energy, what's this? Seven of Pentacles, waiting so patiently, right? And the thing is, when we're trying to alchemize our realities, it's like we've got to try and remember who the hell we truly are at a higher vibrational level, right? And when we feel like a kind of destitution, either emotionally or physically, when we feel like we're kind of alone without allies, you know, it can be hard for us to plant the right seeds, and it can be hard for us to constantly get up and be motivated and, yeah, I'm going to go to the gym, living my best life. It's not so easy because we've all got emotional requirements, you know, and I feel like your emotional requirements is tricky, right? In a world like this, when you bring forward ancient energy and you've really got, you know, you've got this gorgeous palette of energies that people just don't seem to appreciate. And they're taking me back to the classical days and saying, you know, people had this beautiful knowledge of how the inner world creates reality 2,000 years ago, but it can feel as if humans have gone backwards a little bit, right? And maybe you feel like that sometimes with the Nine of Swords energy, like, how long is this going to go on? What's going on here? You know, I feel like it's caused you anguish and this feeling of, and this is testament to your beautiful heart, the fact that the harshness of modern reality has been so tough for you, right? You can't fit in where there's no love. It's not part of the Empress's nature. You need to be loved and nurtured, and it's so tricky when we get dropped into these situations where we can be so far from home, right? That I'm getting anguish, real pain, feeling this craving for home, for nurturing, for the love that you belong in as an Empress. You belong in a beautiful ancient energy of harmony and cooperation and family. True tribal family who really value you, right? So it's almost like this duality thing in this world where the bigger your heart and the more beautiful the essences you bring, the harder it is when you land in the 3D, right? That's the energy I'm getting here. Show me more for this lovely Empress energy. Show me Judgment energy. Okay, so this is the transformation of the spirit. And they're giving me this energy of you finding your way through, thought by thought perhaps, or somehow managing to unlock a door of the mind and find that rejuvenated spirit and, you know, maybe get that feeling of, you know, life can be good, right? It's that energy of having to do this over and over again in multiple different ways. But they're saying you've taken so many pathways back to happiness over and over and over again from whatever position you were in consciously. So whatever conscious position you were in, you always find your way back to love, even if you felt alone, even if you felt despair, even if you felt like that feeling of, God, is this some sort of Groundhog Day? Is this limbo? Like, what's going on here? So I feel like you've brought yourself back to life many, many times. Many, many times. Show me what else we need. Two of Pentacles energy. Okay. This is what I'm saying. All your tactics have helped you weave together maybe a much more solid pathway back to your higher self, right? Because I'm getting this message of it's not just all repetition. It hasn't all been for nothing. The things you have done, the efforts you have made from the heart to restore your faith or restore your happiness or to get back to maybe a level of just feeling good, right? Appreciating life again, feeling some hope maybe. I'm getting that this is really anchored in a lot of your higher self in ways you might not have realized with this Two of Pentacles. This is infinity, and this is literally doing physical things out in the world. If you want to look at tarot from an alchemical reality creation perspective, the Two of Pentacles is, you know, going out of your way to try new things and, you know, doing what you've got to do kind of energy, you know, and tactics again, like, okay, what am I going to do to get myself feeling good again? Yoga, go running, scripting, am I going to watch a video, am I going to do this? And, you know, there's a kindness here, being kind to the self, because you may have kind of, you know, maybe demonized yourself a little bit, or not demonized yourself, but the animal part of us, when we find we haven't got the support we expected, it gets wounded, right? The animal part of us can be so wounded by that, and it's a natural reaction. But I feel like you found this way back to your truth, the truth of this Empress status that you have, and the truth of your divinity, right? And it's healing energy that this is bringing you with the Four of Swords, right? Lots of different healing tactics. You know, even when I was a kid, I was sort of doing everything I could to bring my mind back up, and I would literally think to myself, I would have these little scientific tactics where if you look up at the sky, for example, it's supposed to lift your mood, or if you smile, it's supposed to lift your mood. So this is what this energy is reminding me of, you know, like all those little things that add up to such great big healing, you know. And I feel like there is a divinity here with the Judgment that you kind of know has always been looking out for you, right? And I feel like it took time for you to connect with that. It took time for you to wrestle yourself out of that animal feeling of which we all get as humans, of perhaps humiliation, or it feels horrible to the lower animal nature when the lower animal nature feels like it doesn't have any love or physical support or protection, right? So you've gone through those stages, those natural stages of essentially being an ancient being in a flesh vessel, right? And I feel like you found some really good ways of handling handling these things, right? And they're saying this has gone into your spiritual vault. You know, you're never going to have to do these exact same lessons again. These lessons go with you, go with your higher self forevermore, right? So this one keeps wanting to come out, but it keeps almost, it's that badass being card we've got in here. It keeps getting caught with another card, but it wants to come out, right? So that could be a message for somebody, right? There's a badass being in you trying to get out, right? Look at this with the Five of Wands and the Five of Swords. I really wasn't expecting that to come out on the table. Show me one more. The Eight of Wands. This is what I'm saying. I feel like, yeah, Ten of Swords on the bottom of the deck. I feel like there's this opportunity here for you to switch up your frequency totally, right? And I do feel like it has to do with this badass being card that's trying to get out, because I feel like your spirit as the Empress is just far too good to even be thinking thoughts about Five of Wands or Five of Swords. The Empress needs heaven on earth, right? The Empress is made to live in a Garden of Eden, essentially, that's protected and procured and cultivated. So the message I'm getting with this is that the reason why you get Five of Wands, Five of Swords energies coming at you is because it's a real jealousy thing. It's a way of pecking at you, right? They think if they peck at you enough that you will forget you are the Empress. But I'm getting, no, you will never forget you're the Empress. So with the Eight of Wands coming out on top of this Five of Wands and Five of Swords, what I'm getting is that Spirit is planning some sort of airlift out of these storylines for you, right? And this is going to require you, I'm getting this energy of you laughing at them, you laughing at these conflictual, horrible energies that are basically programmed to target the pure, divine, ancient light, right? It's just their job. And I feel like once you just see them as little agents of the matrix and you realize they're just sort of robotic, right? I feel like you're going to start laughing at them and start realizing you're the etheric being, you're the special one, right? And there's something for you to fly towards here. This is really quick moving energy that can only happen when we're in a really joyous state of being, right? So there's something here about that, about you getting into your higher self energies by hook or by crook, you know, whatever it takes. And I feel like your mind's taking a trip, okay? Because Eight of Wands energy, it's a wand energy, it's fire, Sagittarius specifically. But the wands are all about holding our ground, not just for ourselves, but for what we represent. The wands are quite fiery. Piratey, sorry. It's funny how that energy came out again when I was thinking of the word pirate. But the wands are all about establishing your freedom, the freedom of soul, the freedom of mind, but also knowing what you represent. And I feel like you felt so alone that it's been bloody tricky adapting. It's tricky adapting to feeling alone because, you know, you go so far down the road of survival that sometimes you can forget to thrive. And sometimes you can forget you've got a soul group out there waiting for you to rejoin them. And these storylines have been going on for eons. And I feel like someone needs to know that, okay? I'm getting fly home, fly home. There's a tremendous amount of faith needed in these storylines and situations when you've got malevolent energies coming at you. You've got to really be able to take your consciousness out totally. You've got to be a little bit what a lot of humans would call crazy, right? You've got to be off grid in your mind. You've got to give that, though, you've got to give so little fucks, you know. You've got to actually be one of those people like I couldn't give two fucks what anyone thinks of me. I couldn't give two craps, you know, about fitting in the social stock market. You've got to completely take your mind out of the game and into God's realm, right? And God doesn't want you feeling like you're sat in a spiritual pool in the 3D. God wants you to feel powerful and alive and like you are an agent of him. You are an extension of him or her. You are an extension of source energy, right? So there's something about you realizing that you are God's frontline warrior. You are an extension of him, okay? And letting that energy pull you out, right? Into your true Empress status. Show me, what about this Empress? What do we need to know? These are your building blocks, right? You've built all this up. This was the first card on the table. This is your essence. This is who you are. And this is what you've had to tolerate and put up with and you've healed, right? And I feel like you do everything you've got to do, and then bang, they still come at you. It's because there's a final piece of the puzzle. And that is the key of the higher self, the key of you realizing you are an agent of God, right? There's something about this agent of God energy where, you know, Six of Pentacles, you work in tandem with the divine. You are an extension of the divine. You're an ancient being. And I feel like really cultivating that mindset will really give you the freedom you need. Like, you are free to move any way you want in your mind. They're saying don't take it personal when you get targeted. They're just reflecting. They're just letting you know whose team they're on. And they're just letting you know that they don't support your soul group. They're just letting you know how the energy is, right? Energy must react with other energy. They're saying it's just chemistry. You're on opposite teams, right? So look at a football stand or, you know, soccer, whatever. Look at how those fans can behave because they think they represent a certain football team. None of them really take it personally because they know it's just a game, really. But at the same time, it gives them something to do, and you know what I mean? They're saying it's just like that, really. You're just on two different teams, and you've got to start learning that because you're so divine and so beautiful and so ancient, of course they're going to let you know we're not on your team because they're not on your level, right? But, you know, you're on Team Godhead here, and I feel like that's what this reading's all about. You not taking it personal, that the enemy team are just doing their job, or certain families or certain energies that just, maybe you threaten them because you're so radiant, right? When someone views you, they can only see you in the lounge of their consciousness. So you appear on the stage of their mind, right? Everyone's got their own unique story. And you're a character that they're threatened by. You're a character that they feel like makes them look bad or less attractive or whatever because they view you as this radiant empress. So they're letting you know, yeah, we know you're the empress. Yeah, we know you've got good juju. That's why we're threatened of you, right? So you walking into the stage of their mind, ooh, it offends them because you hold ancient power. All right, so they're just reacting in the natural way. They're letting you know how elevated you are. So what God is saying here, what the spirits are saying is, do not allow this to mess your head up like there's something wrong with you. Au contraire. It's the complete opposite, right? It's the total opposite. Complete opposite. They're giving me the reference of Marilyn Monroe, like, imagine if, and I don't want to put anyone down here, but Marilyn Monroe's a very attractive woman, and it's sort of like, you know, these people feel like you turn up on the stage with that much glow, right? And it makes them feel inferior, it makes them feel dim and ignored and irrelevant, right? When you're around. Wow. You're really building up strength here. I feel like this is like the last stand with the Five of Wands and the Five of Swords before you find something ridiculous, right? And just fly over it like, I'm a divine being. Are you kidding me, bruv? I know what team you're on and I know you're threatened, right? So that's kind of how this is looking to me. And you deserve this freedom, you know, because you've done a lot of healing here. I can feel it. You've done so much beautiful alchemical work. We got the King of Wands. So this is a non-physical energy that's working with you to get you fired up. Eight of Wands energy, reminding you that you have a spiritual family, a real etheric spiritual family that back you up all the way and want you to feel like you are the most precious, cherished, beautiful being, beautiful divine being that exists, right? Nine of Pentacles. So they're giving you energy and they're giving you fuel and they're trying to encourage and coax you onto a Nine of Pentacles, sovereign avatar level player of the game. Of course, this is about the freedom of movement, which requires ching ching. You need money, right? So they're trying to encourage you into this sort of playing the game on the cosmic stage kind of attitude here. And they're saying if you feel stuck at all, you know, there are pathways of thought you can take to start seeing yourself differently and start finding your pizzazz and that fiery energy again with the Sagittarius. This is like creating a target and thinking, you know what, I might as well get ambitious here. Let's get ambitious. They're going to hate you anyway. Trina levels, you know, might as well get that money. That's what I'm getting from this King of Wands energy. They want you secure. They want you to be able to, you know, have that power of movement within the game. and see yourself that way, right? 8 of Cups energy. So this is walking away from the old way of feeling, the old way of doing things, and moving into this prosperous, abundant, beautiful energy mindset. And we've got the Ace of Wands here. So there's a huge amount of fire coming from non-physical, divine fire. They want you in your beautiful sense of humor energies, but they especially want you to be secure, knowing that the only reason these energies rub you up the wrong way is they're just letting you know, innit? It's like if a tiger and a lion end up on the same territory somehow, only one of them can have the territory, right? And these people are threatened because your mere presence dims their sense of self, unfortunately. But this is all redirection to where you belong. And the first stepping stone, they're telling me, on that pathway is you really getting the zoom on when it comes to your own personal sovereignty with this 9 of Pentacles, 9 of Diamonds energy, right? It's, yeah, freedom of movement within the dream. That's what currency is. It's just energy, right? Pentacles are energy, and I feel like that's what Spirit wants from you, right? For whoever this message is for, they want you to go through that step and know that you deserve absolutely the best. These are 2 Garden of Eden energies with the 9 of Pentacles and the Empress. So this is just you taking your rightful place, like, oh, I'm an extension of God. Of course I should be living good. God is abundant, right? There we go. Portal of fire with the Queen of Wands. This is the energy they want you in. Divine creator, moving forward. They're showing me skating really, really fast, all right? Like speeding up that energy, using the ethers as your personal shopping mall to really, you know, focus your mind on new invigorating energies and go shopping consciously, right? Rebuild your image back to the true image with this Empress, Queen of Wands. All right, that's a message for somebody. And we've got the Joker card, the freedom within the dream. Freedom of movement. All right, they're helping you in every possible way to get your mind tuned in with how they see you, right? Your higher self energy, and not let these 3D distractions take you off of the true thing, which is your happiness, your dream creation, right? Pure satisfaction, dreams do come true. Contentment, all right? So it's all about you refocusing on your contentment, perhaps. You're going to have a fly out moment when it comes to 5 of Wands, 5 of Swords. I see you clicking your consciousness into place, releasing, you know, the old emotions and flying in the full power of the Ra energy, right? The sun energy, that pure power, pure sunshine, okay? They're saying call on the Egyptians if you need to. You've got this beautiful ancient connectivity to any energy that you can consciously flow your focus onto. So I hope this has helped somebody and not sounded like too much of a lecture, but I must speak directly for the divine. So I hope this has been good guidance. I love you loads. Mwah.